Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. What was it again? Morgan
Morgan
Rogers.
Rogers.
What a player. I think we should talk about the game then.
Let's get into it.
Welcome back to the latest episode of B6 and Beyond. You are here with me and Cory to discuss the ongoings and what happened at Villa Park as Aston Villa beat Manchester United. You heard that right. Beat Manchester United 2-1 in what was a interesting display, which I'm sure we'll get into during the podcast. But I just want to remind everyone we do have an ongoing giveaway for either match tickets or a shirt of your choice, and we do give away that every 500 subs. We are getting close to the next giveaway, guys, so don't miss out. Make sure to smash the subscribe button, and also we have a like goal on the video. 25 likes on this before beating Man United. That should be pretty easy. Villa fans, we appreciate all your support, so make sure to smash a like on the video, hit that subscribe button. Let's get into it. Right. So I think it is imperative to speak about the start of the game, which we could have been 1-0 down pretty much instantly from that Cunha chance on the edge of the box. Obviously, me and you haven't really spoke too much about the game. We thought we would leave it until we're on air as such to actually, because it's all raw then. Cunha's had that chance when it's come to him at the edge of the box. From my angle in the stand, it looked like he should score there.
I think it's a difficult one. It was great technique by Cunha. To be honest with you, I thought he had scored. I think just the way Martinez didn't move, it always worries you. I think when a goalkeeper sort of does that sort of set position where they just watch the ball, you're thinking, that's beating them. They just know that it's gone in. It wasn't as close as I initially thought. I think maybe could do a bit better, but like you said, I don't think it was one that he should be scoring. I'd like to think he'd be hitting the target, but I'm glad he didn't. To be honest, it's one of them ones, I think.
Right, so just a quick disclaimer, guys. So for those of you that aren't aware, and for the regular listeners, Cory's currently got a temporary setup. He's at his family household for the holidays. Obviously, as you can, I'm in a Christmas jumper. It is Christmas, as we're all aware. So please bear with that. The quality of the video isn't as good as it usually is. So back to the game. So after that we had a flurry, didn't we? Where
Yes.
I don't know how we didn't score. I thought the one that comes to mind in particular was not the Maatsen volley, but is it because that was in that same period, wasn't it? When Maatsen had that volley at the back post. When Watkins got away and he just slowed down when he could have had a dig on his left. He looked for this is my perception in the stands. He got away and he just slowed it up and just stopped. And I was just like, what is he doing?
I think what he did was, I completely agree. I think he should have gone on his left foot, but I think what's happened is, I think as he's running, Yoro slipped, and because Yoro slipped, he's then tries to take advantage by cutting inside onto his right, and he's not realised that Aidan Heaven's coming back to cover. So I think I would say it's unfortunate, but a striker of his quality and someone who's playing for the national team and that sort of, you've got to be aware of your surroundings. And for me, if that's Ollie Watkins a year or two ago, he's putting it on his left foot and at least getting a shot away.
It just reminded me of the Arsenal goal that he scored a few seasons ago when he was it against Gabriel or Saliba? One of the two, I think it was Saliba, and he took him, just dropped his shoulder onto his left foot, rifled it across the goal into the bottom corner. Like, it just feels like we're never going to see that from Ollie Watkins ever again, which is sad. And I don't know if that is because of him getting older, or is it because he's lost a yard of pace, or is it because of this, alleged knee injury sort of situation? Whatever it is, it just doesn't feel like we're going to get back to that Ollie Watkins. Which, whether that means we need to change how we're playing, I don't know. But yeah, we won't go too much into Ollie Watkins because we kind of know the situation with him. January's coming up. What that looks like is another question. So was there any other chances? Obviously, we had the Ian Maatsen one as well that stands out. That I thought that was going in.
Well, funnily enough, obviously you wouldn't have seen it. There's two chances actually that stick out, and I know you said to move on from Ollie Watkins, but one of them is Ollie Watkins.
Right. Okay.
So there's obviously the Maatsen one where it's gone across goal. Rodgers is very unlucky. You won't have seen it in the ground, but it's actually come off Rodgers. He back-heeled it. Rodgers, right. That's why it got so close to where it was. He's really unlucky, to be fair. Did well just to get anything on it. And then, obviously, McGinn broke. It was Onana broke. I think it was a poor pass into McGinn, to be honest. And McGinn obviously had that shot across goal, to which Watkins reacted. And I don't know if it was blocked by the defender or whether Le Mans saved it, but that was one for me where Watkins had to score. Like that was a just scream that should be going in, and I think that was just before the Matson one. I think it was the one that won the corner for Matson's chance. But I think that was, like I say, that first 5 minutes, obviously we could have been 1-0 down after 28 seconds again. But then at the same time, we also could have been 3-0 up within the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, I feel like I should have watched some of the highlights back before we started this, but because like obviously when you're in the ground, you don't really you can't take it into that level, can you? Really? Because it's like you're kind of in there, you're living it, you're living and breathing the situation, the environment. It's very raw. That's why I feel like the experience as a match day fan in comparison to when you're watching it on the TV is completely different. I've literally just stuck it on just to kind of watch back the moments. So this is the bit when McGinn has the shot, what you're referring to. Yeah, that was it. I remember. I don't know. That's not Watkins did. It was unlucky. It's a good block by Aiden Evan. Whatever his name is. He's Aiden Evan, isn't it? He's done really well. He blocks it.
I thought he had quite a good game, that Aiden Evan. To be fair,
he's only a young
19,
lad, isn't he?
Yeah.
That Matson shot's so close, isn't he? Sorry, Villa fans. I'm just literally watching back the highlights as we speak. I think. It's not that close. I'll just see the Rodgers flick.
Yeah. I think as well it's important, I guess, to then go on to the rest of that sort of first half, because there's nothing really else to talk about in that first half up until the goal.
There is the Sesko chance.
Oh, the one where he went through and just.
It was Bruno Fernandes. He played like a pass.
Oh, yes, and Martinez made the save.
Well, yeah, and it's like he got kind of through Conso, just poor defending because he was like Mount was just like wrestling him out of the way, and then like Lindelof had no idea where Benjamin Sesko was, and obviously both of them have been bailed out by Emi Martinez, which, we kind of expect Emi Martinez to make these big saves each week. Like, he's that good of a goalkeeper. Like, he will make top class save each week, guaranteed. It's been a repetitive theme throughout his whole Villa career. As much as, he had his issues in the summer, and this could have been completely different. He could have been lined up for Manchester United, which is another topic to go into potentially. Not today though. But yeah, he's made a fantastic save there, hasn't he?
Yeah, 100%. I think, listen, obviously, as much as we had a few different words to say about him in the summer, we are lucky to have a goalkeeper of his quality in the squad. Like you say, there's players going through on goal, and you fancy Martinez to save, those one-on-ones and things, which it's nice to have. And I think, especially when you consider we could have potentially had Le Mans in goal instead of Man United, and it could have been the opposite way around. I'm very glad that that's not the case, because he's not a very good goalkeeper.
I don't think he's bad though. I just think he's quite young though, and
compared to what we've got, it's
chalk and cheese experience, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, Morgan Rodgers. Let's talk about it. That goal. Is an absolute joke. I could not describe it in any other way other than it's a joke. It's an absolute joke of a finish.
It's an unbelievable goal, and I think my favourite part is listening to what Unai Emery said after the game, where he said he was really annoyed at Morgan Rodgers because he was having a terrible game, and then he pops up with that goal, and then obviously pops up with the second goal, but he was getting really annoyed at him for how poor he was playing. Unai Emery, and I think that is Morgan Rodgers to a T, in terms of he can have a poor game, but he's got those moments of quality in him. I mean, dare I say it was very similar to a certain Jack Grealish goal at Old Trafford a few years ago.
Oh yes, similar. I can see where the angle you come from.
To be honest with you, I just didn't expect it.
No.
I think when he came in inside, I was thinking, why are you cutting inside? Just like try and get the ball in the box. But again, for the second time now at Villa Park, Lenny Yoro has had an absolute stink. He just couldn't get near Morgan Rodgers for the whole game after that, and obviously the second goal came from a very similar situation where he just couldn't get near him. And like I say, it's a world-class strike. It doesn't matter who you are.
Talking of absolute stinkers, Matty Cash for the... I'm not going to go into him and dwell on it for too long, because I've said it on TikTok. Like at the end of the day, Matty Cash has had a fantastic season for Aston Villa this year. He's made one mistake, but you could look at that goal from a couple of angles. Yes, Cash has made a mistake. He's dilly-dallied on the ball. He's tried to turn in, and then Dorgu's made the tackle. But I just didn't get Ezri Konsa's position as well during that.
I was thinking that, to be honest with you, again, we're not going to do the whole scapegoat thing. We're not going to do this, that, and the other. We're not here to slate players. I mean, part of me was thinking before this podcast which approach to take, because we didn't play particularly well, but we got the win. I think, again, Ezri Konsa, I don't think he had the best game. As you say, similar in that chance that Sesko had, Mount's muscling him off the ball. There was a couple of times where his headed clearances, he was just giving the ball straight back to him. But ultimately, again, another thing I thought at the time was, could Martinez have done better? It's a brilliant finish.
Yeah, well, let's just dissect it first of all. So, obviously, Ezri Konsa's come basically towards near enough by the corner flag to offer a pass. Well, he's stood behind him, isn't he? He is, yeah. I don't get why you would do that when you've got Cunha in the vicinity, you've got Bruno Fernandes to the right of Boubacar Kamara, and then behind them you've also got Sesko. So in that area, you've got 4 United players to 3 Villa players. So I don't know if he's looking he's screaming at Cash to drop it back to him so he can lump it clear, because he can obviously see the bigger picture. Potentially that was what he was aiming to do. Drop it back to him and then he can clear it up the line. But Cash could have done that himself. But either way, it's just a shit show of a goal. It's a disappointing one to concede, isn't it? Realistically, you should not be conceding that. Cunha's then... Go on, sorry.
No, I was going to say to you, obviously, I sent you a message during the game at half time, and I said my emotions from that first half changed every 5 minutes purely because of that sort of situation where I thought we played quite poor up until the goal. We got the goal, and it's brilliant, right? We've got the goal, kick on. 2 minutes later, it's 1-1, and you're thinking, well, what was the point in that 40 minutes of pressure from Man United to then go and get a goal and then give it straight back to them? Yeah. And I think there was a think of I think obviously today you said before the game and the podcast before, Man United is always a worry. It doesn't matter who they play. They could play their worst team ever. They could be playing their under-16s, and we'd always worry that we're not going to get the result. So when things like that happen, you just think, really? On days like today where we've taken advantage of being a bit worse, and like you say, it's a sloppy goal to concede, but
it's a lovely finish by Cunha.
It's a very good finish, yeah. I mean, he is a quality player. There's no denying that.
There's a reason why he cost 62.5 million, mate.
At the end of the day, you look at Man United, and we can say it was a team that we should be beating, but they've still got Bruno Fernandes, who's one of the best players in the league. Matheus Cunha, who's a top-class striker. Mason Mount, who's a very good player, and he loves a goal against Villa normally. Mm-hmm. Sesko, I know he's not been playing well this season,
still
and he has been a bit of a flop. He's raw, he's 23, 22, whatever. He was 70 million. There's a reason why they paid that money for him. Agate, I know he's not the best player, but he was at PSG. These players, they're named for a reason.
He's absolutely shite. Sorry to cut you deep there. No. He's so terrible.
No, you are spot on. And then I guess it comes now to the second goal, Morgan Rogers.
I know you've said it's bad keeping. I don't think why is it bad keeping? Please educate me.
I just think personally, from my point of view,
good finish, mate.
I think it's a good fit, but from my point of view, I'm looking at it and saying it's not in the corner. It's not from an angle where that Le Mans needs to be guarding his near post. I think he's just stood in a horrible position.
Right, his position.
But one thing I will say, and I think the one thing as a positive which really helps Le Mans' case, is how well Watkins does. Because Watkins getting across, and he's purposely laid that ball off to Rodgers as well. Watkins, when he's got in front of... And I think that's what's done it, is that Le Mans is in a position for when the cross comes in, and Watkins has got there so quickly and knocks it into Rodgers that within the space of a couple touches, he's not able to shift across.
Yeah, it's actually a good laugh, Barley Watkins, to be fair.
Very good.
I don't think people realise. I don't think he means it though. I've just watched it, just kind of hits him. No, I definitely don't mean that. I don't think. But
I didn't think it at the time, but I just wanted to give him the credit.
Yeah, well, I think we just want to give Ollie Watkins as much credit as possible. So, got the lead. We are then in a position where you think, come on, Villa, let's kick on and let's go and see the game out. And we definitely didn't do that, did we? Come on, realistically.
Our game management was so
God.
bad.
I was shitting myself in the stand. I was literally shitting bricks. How Cunha hasn't scored the header
Yeah.
that is terrible. Like, it was literally in the 6-yard box, and he's literally put it wide. It was horrendous.
I mean, don't know, that's a terrible header, but just as a team, we spoke about it a couple of weeks ago actually, and you were saying like obviously you've been to all the home games this season. You said there's not a single game where we've gone into the last 10 minutes or so, and you're thinking, okay, I'm a bit worried now. That game, from the moment we went 2-1 up, like you say, oh shit! I was like, we're gonna lose this. Not just draw. Like we just kept giving the ball away. Like every time we went forward, McGinn was giving or Kamara had a poor game every time he got the. I mean, the one where Lissandro Martinez has hit it from about 25 yards out. Why Boubacar Kamara is trying to megs him in the middle of the park rather than just playing it into space is I just don't know why he's done it. I was just like.
He's made some weird decisions over the last few weeks, hasn't he, Kamara? He hasn't been anywhere near his usual very, very high standards, has he? Let's be realistic. But we could say that about a lot of players, to be honest with you. I don't think we've been particularly fantastic. No. You know, the Arsenal, it just feels like to me they kind of raise their levels to the sides that we're playing against.
Yeah. We're playing to the standard that's in front of us. And that's why there is such a concern about, yes, we've obviously won 10 games in a row and we should be buzzing, but that's why there's so many questions about sustainability, is if we were to play at the level we can play at against every team, these 10 wins in a row wouldn't be as impressive, I don't think, because we would be battering these teams, and I think that's fair to say. If we would have played to the level we can play at today, it would have been 3 or 4-1. I think that's fair to say. I don't get me wrong, we didn't play well today, but if we played at the level we can, it's a different outcome in terms of the way that happened. Like next week against Chelsea, for example, we have to play
better
at our best level, because Chelsea are one of those teams where they'll either turn up and play like Man United did today, or they can turn up and play and they can turn up and play like Man City. So it's one of them. But I think there's players. Listen, we spoke the fringe players who are coming on. They're coming on and doing a job as well. I mean, one thing I love from Lamar Bogard, I know it might have been a bit worrying in the stands when he gave away that free kick at the end. Brilliant by him, because no one was stopping. I think it was Dorga going for it, and he just thought, you know what, just take him out, do what you need to do, and I loved that from him, because everyone else was just
the free kick was close, wasn't it?
Foot in, and then it was. Good yard over, I think. If it was on target, Martinez would have saved it.
It looked better. It looked a decent effort from the stands.
It wasn't a bad effort from the angle.
Was it Mount? Was it?
Yeah. That was my only concern when I saw him step up, just because of his record with free kicks against us. But
I thought he had a particularly good game. I thought if I had to pick any players from Manchester, and this is the thing, and I said to you over text message, because I know you was particularly negative around the performance, and I just tried to bring you up a little bit, because you know we are still playing Manchester United. They are still one of the top half teams in the Premier League. They are a much better team than they were last season. Yes, they've got their injuries. Yes, they've got people out through international duty, but they've still got Bruno Fernandes, Cunha, Sesko, who they spent an awful amount of money on. Mason Mount, who they spent an awful amount of money on. You know, they've still got some very, very good footballers within that side, so we have to give them respect. It would have been a very disappointing result if we didn't beat them, but ultimately we've got the job done. And realistically, did we get out of third gear? I don't particularly think we did. We didn't really put that much of an effort in, I don't think, personally. So that's like, you know, I think we have to measure our expectations as well, because we are in a tricky period in terms of the amount of fixtures that we do play over this period. So, you know, you don't want the players to be giving it gung-ho every single game. Look, they're going to go into 2 games now before the turn of the new year against Chelsea and Arsenal away, and they're going to be 2 very taxing, difficult games. If we can walk away from those games with 3 points as a bare minimum from one of the games, we are absolutely laughing. We are laughing. Like, that would put us on 39 points, I think we're on 36 now.
Yeah.
That would put us level with the points tally that we had the season when we got Champions League. So, and everyone was saying that we were ridiculous that season. That was the season where we could have been top at Christmas, but we bottled it against Sheffield United. So,
yeah, I think it poses that question, doesn't it? Now, of from a Villa perspective, as you say, we can't expect them to be going gung ho with all the fixtures and stuff. The question is now, we all know as Villa fans, even from this whole season, there's another level for us to go to. the level that we played with against Bournemouth and City is a level that we can go to. So it's that thing now of when are we going to see that again? Because we need to see it in order to keep whatever this dream is that's going on a reality.
I don't think we do, though, mate. To be honest with you, I'm gonna be devil's advocate here because Arsenal ain't fantastic every week. Manchester City ain't fantastic every week. But they're getting results. I think the most important, it's a results-based game. As long as we're winning games, yes, don't get me wrong, it could come to a bitter blow and we could eventually bow out and be like, what if? But if you're finding a way to win, that's the most important thing to me. Like I couldn't give a rat's ass if we was playing shit every week and winning every week. But ultimately, the main thing is getting over the line, getting 3 points. Don't get me wrong, it'd be absolutely lovely to turn up to Chelsea next week and kick them off the park and win 5-0 at Chelsea. That would be absolutely amazing. But with all due respect, the only thing that's going to benefit is your goal difference because realistically, you get the same amount of points for winning 5-0 as you do 1-0.
True. Yeah, I think the key thing is like you say, the key game out of the next two is the Chelsea game. If we get anything out of Chelsea, that benefits us massively. Obviously, I'm not saying
every game's big, isn't it?
Yeah. At the end of the day, there's going to come a time where the streak ends. Like we know that we're football fans. I mean, knowing Villa, it'll probably be against Forest or something rather than Chelsea and Arsenal. But
I don't think it will, mate. I don't see us losing. I do not see us not winning at Villa Park for the rest of the season. We played Arsenal. We played Arsenal there. We played Chelsea. That fucking get your words out. We played City there. Who else we got to come there now? We got Liverpool, Chelsea.
Yeah.
Played Newcastle there.
And Spurs, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Spurs.
We'll batter Spurs. I think that'll be a team that we score 4 or 5 past at Villa Park.
But I think that's the thing now. Is like I say, the Chelsea game is really important in terms of even if we draw that, it just means they can't get anything on us. The important thing from that Chelsea game is we come away from it next week and just say they've not gained anything on us. Whether that means we've beaten them or we've drawn with them, that's fine. We can put up with that. Because obviously I've seen people saying, oh, well, if we lose to Chelsea and Arsenal, we're still third. And it's like, yes, but if we lose to Chelsea and Arsenal, we're also all of a sudden potentially only 1 point into the top 5, and then all of a sudden you drop completely out of the top 5.
Yeah, but the thing is, like Chelsea are gonna lose games from now to the end of the season when we're gonna win. I think the big thing we as Villa fans need to take away from this is the work that we have done over the last 17 games is fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic, and we've put ourselves into a position now. Look, after 5 games, if you told me that I could have this, would you take it? I'll tell you what, I would have done some unspeakable things that I won't mention on this podcast to even have a sniff of that happening. Never mind it actually bloody materialising. I think the job that Unai Emery should be considered at this. I'm telling you now, at this point, if we're going to get Champions League football after the start that we had, the unsureness, the insecurity around the football team, the whole negative vibe around the squad, to turn that around and to take us to the Champions League. That man, oh God, honestly, please win a trophy this season, because I will build you your bloody statue myself. I can't promise you'll be in any good light, but I'll try my best.
I completely agree with you, Ben. I think that's probably a good place to end it as well. On Unai Emery.
My loving of Unai Emery. I'm sure it's a very much a shared feeling.
100%. And one thing we know is next month is going to be a huge month based on the transfer window and stuff, and we will have a podcast episode about that at some point as well in January, what we're expecting and things like that.
Yeah, so final one from me and Cory, because we could probably sit here all night and talk about Aston Villa because it's a shared love of ours, and I'm pretty sure all of you that's still here feel the exact same as us. Make sure to smash that subscribe button and join us on the journey, because I feel like something really is special brewing down Villa Park, and this is going to be a special season. Last one for me and Cory. Up the Villa.